Okay, I think we are good to go. What's up, guys? Welcome to our Bold Commerce live stream for today. It is Wednesday, January 31st, and today we're going to be talking about the new loyalty points redemption experience that we have using this new upgraded checkout that we've got going on here. This is super exciting. I'm just going to wait a couple seconds here, double check, make sure that everything is good on this stream. Just refresh my page, make sure I can hear myself here. Yeah, that looks good to me. Cool, nice. All right, looks sharp. As I mentioned, today we're going to be talking about this brand new loyalty points redemption experience. So first we'll kind of look at what we've previously done for loyalty points on Shopify, and then kind of what we're going to talk about. So we're going to go through a really quick demo. I'm going to show you how to set this up on your Shopify store, and then we'll have time for a Q&A at the end. It's usually about a half an hour or so for these things, and then the Q&A can sometimes take an extra 10 or 15 minutes. Today's might run a bit shorter than that. I know you guys are all busy. So first, what has been the redemption experience for loyalty points before? So every loyalty app kind of handles this in a slightly different way. The way ours did it, and I can speak to this best probably, is a customer would get loyalty points on your store by making purchases. Then once they had enough of those points, they would be able to check out for a very specific product. So, you know, for example, let's say I have an SD card for a camera that costs 1,000 points. If I have 1,000 points, I can then choose when I'm on the page for that specific product to redeem the points for that SD card, which is great. And then it asks for my shipping address, and it gets an order created for me in Shopify, and I know that I have to send that customer an SD card that they just redeemed for their points. But the issue with this is it's not really super intuitive to a customer on how to actually redeem those points. And while it's great to have a loyalty program, if we can't if it's not actually valuable or intuitive to a customer as to how to redeem those points, then they don't find it valuable, and then the value that we're getting from that program is kind of lost, right? Because to the customer, the program is only valuable and only keeps them coming back if they think they're getting something out of it. And if they're not able to kind of have a seamless redemption experience, that's really, really not good for them. So this new redemption flow that we've got is really cool because it lets us do a few different things. For starters, the redemption happens right in the checkout. So instead of picking on a specific products page that I want to check out with loyalty points, for example, I just pick all the products I want for my regular order. I go to the checkout page, and then I can pay with points right there. They're just like a currency. Just like I would use a credit card or a gift card, I can use loyalty points instead to make that purchase. We can also choose to have those points cover the shipping costs for that product. So since it's happening in the checkout, we can calculate shipping costs accordingly, and I can use the points if the store owner or the merchant, or I guess that's you who I'm speaking to, has configured it that way. Then I can also use those points to cover the cost of shipping. This does some other cool stuff too. It lets us do things like mixed carts. So previously, again, they would have to pick out one specific product, and they'd need to make an order for just that product, basically using this different checkout that we had going on. What happens now is they can pick as many products as they want, add them all to their cart, and let's say they know they're going to be redeeming 1,000 for the SD card. They can pick the SD card, a new camera, a new bag for that camera, maybe a tripod, and they add all those to their cart, they get to the checkout, and then they choose where they want to redeem their points. So I want to redeem the points just for the SD card or for the bag. And then when they redeem those points, it will take them off the total for that order. So that's kind of what we've got going on. So today, like I said, I'm going to go through a really quick demo of that with you guys, show you how to set it up, and then we can have some time for questions at the end. If you do have any questions, feel free to throw them in the Crowdcast questions panel. That should be on the, I'm trying to think of which way I'm going to need to point. Right-hand side, I'm pointing to my left. Yeah, right-hand side. You can ask any questions in there. We'll take questions kind of as we go along. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can also ask them in the Facebook comments, and we'll get to them either during or after the stream. But if you do have any questions, definitely throw them our way, and we'll be happy to take care of those for you. So let's go over to our demo store here. So as I mentioned, first I'm going to go through a demo of what this looks like. So for starters, I'm actually going to sign in here. So a customer would normally sign in on your store with their points or to get access to their points. So I'll just sign into our demo account here. And then we'll start making purchases just as we would as a customer. So I'll go to the catalog, and I think I'll add, let's go for this blanket. And then I'll add the coffee mug. That was a nice looking coffee mug, let me tell you. And let's go for a square pillowcase with stuffing. You know, you can get round pillowcases with stuffing. I find not as comfortable as the square ones. Square ones give you a little more support, really helps. So anyways, now I've finished all my selections on the storefront, and I'm ready to check out. You can see I have an obscene number of loyalty points in the top bar here. Obviously, it's just a demo, but I'll show you what this looks like when we go to the checkout screen. So you can see I'm in the checkout here. So if I choose a new shipping address, see, I'm Chevy Chase. Again, these are all saved addresses based on my customer information. And I go through the checkout just as I normally would. Billing address, same thing. Shipping method, yeah, I'll do expedited parcel USA because I want it in 2 or 3 weeks. You can see there's this new payment option at the bottom here, though, since we're in this upgraded checkout, and I can actually choose to pay with loyalty points. So just as I can choose to pay with a gift card or a credit card, I can also choose to pay with points. So if I click on that, see, I get a couple options here. I can choose which of these products I'm going to cover. It shows me how many points it's actually going to cost and how many points I'll have after I redeem those points. I can redeem them for 1 or 2 products or the entire cart. You know, there's a ton of different options here. I'm going to pick, let's just say I'll pick 2 of them just for the sake of showing you guys. And I can also choose to pay for shipping with loyalty points, which is pretty cool as well. Now you can turn this on or off as a merchant. You can choose whether customers will be allowed to pay for the shipping with their points. It's possible that if they're getting a completely free purchase, for example, you know, we want them to pay whatever the cost of shipping is. So you can turn that option on or off. I'll leave that unchecked for now just to kind of show you how the rest of the cart flow looks like. So you can see if I hit redeem, it shows me I'll be redeeming 2,700 loyalty points today. And then even though my total here was 4,750, actually that's a bad, sorry, that's the amount that I have left outstanding. See, my subtotal was $53.95 and then $20.55 on top of that. If I open up the little payments box here, you can see I paid for $27 of this with my loyalty points. And now I can just use my credit card to top up the rest of the order. So perfect. And then I will put in all my information. Then if I hit complete order here, that just covers the rest of the order. So you can see I paid for $27 of that order with my loyalty points, then the rest of it with my Visa card. So I can do a mixed cart like this, and I can choose which items in the order I'm actually going to pay for with those points. You can also see on this thank you page, so the order's actually been finished now. I've paid for it, I've entered my shipping info, I've entered my billing info, my credit card information is there. You can see that we've got this upsell after checkout that we talked about a few weeks ago on here as well. This is another great feature of our upgraded checkout that we have going on here, is that we can do cool things like an upsell after checkout or multi-currency billing. A ton of other benefits, like we can do stored account credit cards. So if I sign in with that account and I've used a credit card previously, I could save that credit card for future use, so I don't need to enter it every time that I make a purchase on the store. So I'm going to add these just to show you how it works if you didn't see our upsell after checkout demo a few weeks ago. These bold socks are a great upsell that's happening after I've made the purchase. They're just $11.95 more. I have a really compelling line here that describes what I can do with them. So I'll hit confirm edition, and they're already automatically added to my order. And that payment actually goes through on my credit card as well. So the customer doesn't need to re-enter their credit card information or their shipping information, which is kind of how it worked before. It just gets added to my order and added to the total that I pay with my credit card. Ryan, will this video be available somewhere to show to our clients? Yeah, for sure. So after the session is done, you can just come back to this page anytime in the future, and they'll be able to see this video on demand, and they can rewind or fast forward. We're going to be going through some stuff pretty quickly in this video just for time's sake, but like I said, you can always watch it back in the future. So I'll show you how to get this set up on your Shopify store. So if I head into my demo store admin here, first thing I'm going to do is head into my Loyalty Points app. And we'll just wait for this to load. Cool. So I'm in the Loyalty Points app. I'm not going to show you how to set this up using how to set up the Loyalty Points app, basically. We've got a few other videos on that. But basically, what I'm going to do here is, actually I might have it hidden on my screen just because I've already upgraded my checkout. But there should be a button, I believe it's in the settings menu here, that will offer you the option to upgrade your checkout. If you don't see that, the place that you can go to is cashier.boldcommerce.com. It'll look like this. Oops, actually that's wrong. It'll be boldcommerce.com/cashier. Sorry, we just changed that URL. So you go to boldcommerce.com/cashier and then press Get Cashier here, and this will send you a link to install Cashier on your store so that you can upgrade your checkout to use with loyalty points. So anyways, that will install Cashier on your store, and there's a few settings that you'll have to configure before you actually start selling on Cashier and use those loyalty points. So to do that, we'll head to Bold Cashier from the apps menu here. Now you're going to need to set up a few settings just like you set up Shopify the first time that you use it. So a couple things that we've got to set up are things like shipping settings. So from the settings menu here or from the front screen, you can do set up a shipping zone. Perfect. Now shipping zones are exactly like they would be in Shopify. So shipping zone basically defines for a given shipping address that a customer enters, what shipping rates are they going to get. So, someone in the United States will get different shipping rates than in Canada, for example. You can either set these up custom in the app, and actually for the future, after you've started using Cashier, you'll do all your changes for shipping settings right here in Cashier. But what you can do just as a first time setup is press import on the left hand side here, and that will pull in all your shipping rates through Shopify, sorry. So it will basically mirror your shipping zones when you do that import. The other thing you're going to have to do before you get started is go to the payment information tab here. This is where you set up a payment gateway that's actually going to process the payments through Cashier. So a question we get asked a lot is can I use Shopify payments if I'm using Cashier? So Shopify payments is one of the most common payment gateways on Shopify. They actually run through Stripe. So what we recommend is that you set up a Stripe account. You should get something very, very close to the same rate that you're getting with Shopify payments. And you'll want to connect a Stripe gateway or another payment gateway to this. But you can't use your Shopify payments account. Cannot use your Shopify payments account for Cashier. So to set up a payment gateway, it's super easy. You just press Connect Gateway in the top right here. We have a bunch of different options: Stripe, Braintree, Authorize.net, Beanstream, tons of different choices. You can connect whichever gateway is your preference. I'm not going to go through that whole process just because it's mainly entering a bunch of account details, but you can connect that gateway here. After that's all done, your shipping settings are set up and your payment gateway is set up. You might have, dependent on your store, a couple more steps to go through just before you can get started selling. If you do have those, there'll be a little bell icon in the top right, and it will tell you what your notifications are, and if you've got anything that you've got to set up before you can enable Cashier. But if that's all clear, you can turn Cashier on. So the way to do that is just through the general settings screen here, and then click Enable Cashier. And when Cashier is enabled, customers will go through Cashier for their Shopify purchases. It's important to note that Cashier does have a processing fee of 0.25%. So that means of every transaction that goes through Cashier, there's a processing fee of 0.25%, and on top of that, there's your payment gateway fees, whatever those charge, usually about 2.7%, dependent on kind of your volume and which gateway you're using. But there is that charge when using Cashier. So that's kind of important to keep in mind, that when it is enabled, you will get that payment gateway fee as well as the Cashier processing fee. So after Cashier is set up, there's one last step to do to connect it to the Loyalty Points app, and that's to go to the Marketplace in the navigation bar here. The Marketplace is where you manage all of your connections to different apps that might integrate with Cashier. So you can see I have a Loyalty Points line here. This says disabled because it is it's already connected on this store, but for you we'll say enable. You just need to click on enable there, and it will automatically start the integration with your store. And so after that, you're pretty much good to go. Customers can pay in points on your store just like they would with a currency, and uses all the other great features that we have with the upgraded checkout as well. So that's like an upsell after checkout. You can do multi-currency, tons of different options there. So I'll show you just one setting that we do have related to the Bold Cashier integration to allow customers to pay with points, and that's allowing buying shipping with points. So we kind of touched on this earlier, that a customer could use points to cover the shipping charge on that order. So we can allow or disallow that using this checkout settings screen that will only show up once you've finished the Cashier connection in your app. So this is kind of a business decision to you. I'm personally of the opinion that in general we want to allow customers to buy shipping with points. It's again, it's totally up to you. It depends on how your program is structured and kind of what your ratios are as to whether the income that you get from a customer that has a certain amount of points will kind of cover the shipping charge that it might take to to send them a free product, for example. But it's definitely something you will have to kind of decide on a per store basis. So that's it. That's really all there is to it. You just need to install Cashier to your store, do a few setup options, import your shipping settings, set up a payment gateway, and then turn it on. And that's pretty much it. Customers get this brand new Loyalty Points integration automatically. Like I said, it's way more seamless for customers to kind of go through this process than the old system was a little bit, can sometimes be a bit on the clunky side for customers, because if they were making multiple purchases, they might have difficulty redeeming points for one product, but they still wanted to buy others. So we think this is really going to be a benefit to a lot of stores with loyalty programs. And we're super excited to see how merchants will be able to use this to improve their loyalty programs. So I'll just look over here and see what I can take for questions. See, MC is in the chat. That's awesome. MC is one of our client success specialists, and she probably is making sure that my answers are accurate here. So Audrey, why is the total $11? That is a good question. I presume that's related to something that I did in the demo. If you're referring to this screen here, that's because I added the extra product using the upsell after checkout. So that basically shows that that's the total amount that will be added to the customer's credit card order that they've already made. So they've made the $74.50 in payments, both through their Visa card and the loyalty points that they used. Then as well, there's an extra $11.95 that gets added on to their Visa card after that product has, or after the order has actually gone through. Another question, do we have to use Cashier or can we use the Shopify checkout? So you can definitely continue to use the Shopify checkout, but that will just be the old integration basically. So as opposed to allowing customers to check out in the as opposed to allowing customers to use their points in the checkout, customers will just have to redeem points on the product page instead. So if you want them to allow customers to redeem the points in the checkout and possibly cover shipping with those as well, then you do need to be using Cashier. The old version of loyalty points will definitely continue working. I don't believe we have any plans to stop supporting that, but like I said, this is definitely a better redemption experience, we think, for customers. Peter, can you clarify the need for a different gateway? Doesn't Shopify charge an extra fee also when we don't use Shopify payments? So generally, yes, but that's only when you're using a different gateway through Shopify's checkout. So in a bit of a confusing way, since you're not actually going through Shopify's checkout, you're going through our upgraded checkout. They don't charge you those additional transaction fees. Those are usually like 1 to 2% dependent on what your Shopify plan is. You don't get those fees when you're paying or when your customers place orders through Cashier. So all you're paying is the 0.25%, which is a Cashier processing fee, and then the ranging from 2 to 3% payment gateway fee that you're normally paying. Good question, though. Josh, when will a customer be able to use a variable amount of rewards points instead of the total amount of the product price? So we're actively working on loyalty points right now. I know the team has that on their roadmap. I don't want to give you an exact date at risk of being wrong, but I know that it's hopefully like 1 to 2 months out. But again, timelines can change, and I definitely wouldn't want to promise you something that's that's a little farther out than that. It is 100% on their roadmap, though. So coming, just no specific timeline. Hopefully within the next few months. But good question for sure. So I'm just those are all the questions from Crowdcast. If you have any other questions, be sure to throw them in there, and we'll kind of take them as they come. I'm just going to check any questions that might have come in through our Facebook page. Okay, not seeing any there. Cool. Well, that was pretty quick for today, so I think we will. I think we'll call it there. So, there's my agenda again. Look at that. So I think we'll call it there for today. If you do have any questions about setting this up, be sure to reach out to our client success team. Their email address is support@boldcommerce.com. Again, that's support@boldcommerce.com. You can reach them through our website or send them an email directly. They're very, very well equipped to make sure that your store is set up using both the upgraded checkout and as well this new loyalty points integration. And I know they're really excited to see, just as I am, how this is going to help merchants offer better loyalty experiences to their customers. So be sure to reach out to them if you have any questions. Hope you enjoyed. I think this will be it for today, seeing no other questions. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 1 o'clock when we'll have our School of Commerce live stream on as well. That's featuring Mike from our team. He's going to be talking about why you should be using your Shopify blog and how it's so important to making sure that you're providing good content for your customers. So be sure to tune into that. That's tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll be streaming same place, same time, right here on Facebook and on Crowdcast. If you have any questions, like I said, be sure to reach out. And from there, I think we'll call it for today. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.